All right, how's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the stable. Weekly update video, weekly recap. Look, overall, we didn't do too bad. 1,927 green arrows. Bit hard not to get green arrows from last week. 25,000 for the round, up to 11K for the season. But let's get into what happened, right? So if you tuned in last week, you would see that I did a big boost. Coleman, Nick Dacos, Bailey Smith in for, I believe, Sherry, Parrish, and Jack Carroll. So big upgrade week. VC Nick Dacos. 6:29. I look at my phone. I've got a message from my mate saying Nick Dacos is a laid out. 6:29. Got my VC on him. And it's the week I traded him in, right? So it's a free reversal, right? 6:29. Go on Supercoach app, locked. This really stings because all week it was Dacos or Grundy. And I was like, you know what, let's just go. The Nick Dacos and Bailey Smith sounds too good. And I was literally trying to go Dacos to Grundy. Obviously with flex action and all that gear. Locked out, so I was like, okay, let's just almost hope Grundy doesn't go berserk. 368, is it, on the captaincy? Because he would have got the VCs. It sickened me. And then for Ed Richards, I put the C on Ed Richards. C. Him to be a laid out. He's never out, let alone a laid out. Luckily, my mate called me and said, you have to take your captain off. Because, again, I was busy. Because if you VC and C people that don't play, you get no double score. I would have borderline almost quit. I'm not even kidding. I'm in 2 cash leagues. Borderline, what would that odds be? So, we got saved. We captained Bailey Smith on Monday. It was okay. 19. Here's the thing. I still had a good week. It was just if I had Grundy, man, damn, it would have been a week. I roughly checked and like you're talking top 1,000 weekly score, but I didn't get the trade and I didn't get the reversal in time. So I spent 640K and a trade on a big fat zero from Nick Dacos. Fuming. Pressure's on. I want to see some scores, right? Because the news is he's back. I want to see some scores. I'm fuming about that. It's probably the angriest Supercoach has ever made me. But anyway, Kitty Coleman, very happy. He was in that halfback role. He was kind of sharing of Zorks. Answorth is probably going to be back this week, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. Even though they're different roles, it's a spot in the defense. Roberts, unreal. So lucky we stood by this guy. He's got his roll back, half back. He needs to stay there. Houston turned up again, happy. Sarong went nanas. Luckily, my emergency wasn't on Jack Watkins. Now, if I had my emergency on Jack Watkins and I got a 7 after the Nicky D and Ed Richards laid out, mate, fuming. I mean, 56 isn't great, but still. Tanner Bruin 90, cheering. Noah Anderson want to fire up, mate. Noah Anderson want to fire up. I'll tell you. Like, we're not trading him. No, we're not leaving that primo, but he want to fire up. Didn't bring him in here for 90s and 80s, I'll tell you. But we'll get into what I'm going to do this week, right? I wanted to do nothing. So originally I thought Ed Richards and Nick Dacos were just going to be 1 weekers. It's looking that case for Nick Dacos, but Ed Richards is looking like it could be longer. 2 to 3. It's a tendon behind the knee, so see, he's got a break even of 170. But I was happy to roll with him, right? Like Anderson's got a break even 160. I'm happy to the primos that I'm going to sit with that I want in my team at the end of the year. I'm happy to ride the waves, but for you now to be out for 2 weeks with a 170, I'll probably have to trade you. First, let's get our Primo's back on. I mean, I've said that as I put Sarong on. He's not Primo, but and Flanders ain't a Primo either. But you know what I mean. Hopefully Tom Marshall starts this week because I need him back, and we all need him back for that DDP. Adelaide Carlton's already been named. I forgot that's Wednesday. So I didn't want to do any trades. It was the first week I was like, oh, I don't have to do anything. So let's just take that chance to not spend any because you're going to have to. I don't think any of us have had a chance to not spend trades. Some lucky ones have. And if they've taken that chance not to spend them, they seem pretty at the moment. I've still got 4 boosts, but I've traded every week. So I didn't want to. Ed Richards, though, has to go. So my plan is Grilge and Kitty swap. So Kitty's in defense. So I can go Grilge to mid, Ed Richards to flex. And I can literally go anyone. Now, it still burns me because I'm doing it a week after he went nanas, but I'm probably going to go Grundy. So I had 95k in the bank as well. So I can go 687 under. So the only people I can't afford is Gawn, Bont. Gawn and Bont. And I have Gawn. They're the only 2 I can't afford. If Track's back this week, there's a chance. But I kind of want to see him back with Rao. If Sherry was back, I'd be going Sherry. But his break-even's high, but he can't break it. All these rucks can break it. Luke Jackson would be the money-saving option, but I just think, we talked about in the live, there's 3 big dogs, Sherry, Grundy, and Gawn. And by the end of the year, you're going to want at least 2 of them in your team. Right now, I can just get 2 of them because I'm forced to get rid of Richards. So why not just get 2 of them? I really want Sherry to be one of my 2. Really want Sherry because I think he has the highest ceiling out of the 3. Might not be as consistent as Gawn, but I think his ceiling is just like that touch higher. But yeah, we're going to have to go Grundy. Also, because Grundy is a very scary not own. If he does anything like he did his last 10 rounds last year, not owning Grundy and watching him do that for 10 rounds was sickening. Sickening. So it's a defensive pick as well. Because if you don't have him, it's going to hurt if he does it. But it means I don't really have any way to Sherry till second half of the season. I can't really logically think about getting Sherry till. Even if getting all 3 of them at any point would be crazy. But that's late now. And it might not happen. And I have to accept that. If we go complete, see, the only other options would be they said Luke Jackson or Track, or even go all the way to Pickett, but Grundy's just way safer than that, you would think. So we're doing this for the moment. 1 trade, Grundy for Richards, straight, you could call it sideways, Primo sideways. You could argue it's Primo to Uber Primo, so it is a slight upgrade, but it's not really what you want to be doing. I would much rather get to Grundy another way than a Primo, but now if we get into captains, my loop, Melbourne do play Saturday, second game Saturday, but still 1:15, so that's grim. I only have 3 players I can play, unless Murdoch is still not in. We want Murdoch to play for DDP and that cash, right? If Murdoch isn't playing, I'll VC Gawn against Blackiston. Even though people actually haven't been scoring that great against Blackiston, I'll still VC Gawn. If Murdoch is named, I'll obviously use Kalani White, and I'll probably VC Nick Dacos against Freo. Or I could go Sheasel against Brisbane. And even though it sounds like you wouldn't do that, players can score well against Brisbane, because Brisbane, they don't really pay you attention. They just challenge you to beat them. Naz scored 120, I think, against them. It wasn't it could go big. So Sheasel could get 35 against Brisbane. That's not unheard of. It doesn't mean they'll win. But yeah, so you could go Sheasel. I really want to go Gorn. So, but then again, I also really want Murdoch to play. So we're going to wait for that ins and outs tomorrow. But yeah, that's my strat at the moment. Really didn't want to make a trade. We're just going to do the one. I'm even in the camp where if nothing happens this week, I'm probably going to sit again. I have enough rookies that are rising. Also, I'm not fully convinced on the downgrades this week. Like Oscar Steen, I could easily see him out of the side in 2 weeks, and then you got to get rid of him. Easily see him out of the side in 2 weeks. He might not be, and I'll miss it, but it's just risky. There was another one. Goulburn's only played one, too early to go, and even then, even if he scores another 80, he's still risky. Obviously, the one I'll be moving is either Doveston or Watkins. If Watkins is named, I'm happy to keep riding. I doubt he's going to score a 7 again. His scores were okay before that. Like, nothing crazy, but okay. Doveston is a worry, because even when he's playing, it's the small forwards, man. They don't score well. So, Doveston's the one I'm looking at to downgrade. And you're only going to make 40, but I'm looking to downgrade to someone that I think is going to make a lot more than Doveston. That's really all I'm looking at right now. I'm kind of in the, growing phase. I'm trying to grow these rookies. The defense is cruising. They're all going to grow. A fair bit of this midfield's cruising once Murdoch's back, but the forward line is a shambles, mate. Shambles. DDP, we're going to have to look into it. But that's the strat at the moment. Good luck, everyone, and we'll see you next week.